Hello again, I am back, still learning the ways of the Vagrus. Last episode got a little bit long-winded, but I felt like all of that belonged together. Thankfully, all of that is behind us now. It's finally time to get into Avernum, do a little trading, as was promised. When occupying a settlement node, you can enter the settlement using the Enter button on the node radial menu. You can always choose not to enter and even camp outside. Alright then. The city of Avernum. You can smell its foul stench even as you approach its mighty gates set in dark walls decorated with the bones of gigantic creatures. The dry, sulphurous reek of the regions, so close to the molten tongue, mixes with the bitter, ashen stink of the many foundries and forges in the city. Over the walls, the rooftops and chimneys of the city lean together in a jumble. Buildings on the lower part of the hill are more dilapidated, while the ones near the top are in better condition in general, with a walled-off villa appearing here and there. A group of guards stops you as the comitatus moves ponderously under the gate arch. While your cargo and men are being checked, you can see several of the grim, black-clad legionnaires of the Avernus Legion standing guard beneath the gate towers, staring at you. Gate tax is 2 changers, the head guardsman says after getting the confirmation from his men that everything is in order. The slave next to him bows to you and holds up the open money box he carries chained to him. We can pay the gate tax. It's literally just change. We could pay with goods. 1 scrap metal. I say screw you. Bringing all of that here was the point. I'm not about to give any of that up. We can swear to pay. Once we're leaving, it will cost more. Well, it's literally 2 changers. Having passed through the city gate, you arrive at the cobbled plaza on the other side. You head toward the Manzio, the large inn for comitati, without delay to set yourself up there and have some rest after the arduous journey. In an hour, everything is settled. Your beasts are stabled, your cargo is unloaded into the warehouse, and most of your crew is resting already. We're following the story here. Just as you are about to head into the common room and order a drink for yourself, Javek approaches you and draws you aside. There's someone here to see you, boss. Someone sent by our knightly friend. Says she wants to talk to you discreetly. She's waiting behind the stables, Javek says in harsh tones. It was foolish to think that you have rid yourself of Cedarius and his agenda even for a few hours. But you have little choice. Let's hear the messenger out. The woman waiting for you in the shadows behind the stables of the Manzio is wearing a large hood and a long cape over a dark grey, featureless tunic. As you approach, she throws the hood back, revealing the markings of someone in the service of Ashkul, god of the underworld. A face painted pale with dark eyeshadow to give the impression of a skull. You suspect that she is a novice attached to the Order of the Black Sun, or an acolyte of the Church of Ashkul. The woman looks around furtively. There is nobody nearby, just you and Javek. Greetings from our mutual friend, the Knight, Dominus. The young woman says quietly after looking you in the eye. I was sent here to take you to him when you're ready. I'll wait here, just don't take too long. He's very eager to see you. From now on, you can visit Cedarius in Avernum. Before you set out, Javek draws you aside. So it would seem that we'll stay here longer than we had expected. It occurs to me that such a delay would be a strain on our resources, and I rather doubt that our knightly friend cares about that. You have considered this also. Javek goes on as you rub your chin thoughtfully. I was thinking we could smelt the scrap metal we bought. I know it would cost us, but hear me out. Not only does smelted metal take up less space in the cargo hold, but it could also allow us to sell a fraction of it for great profit here. It's a loss in the long run, but we have to pay the crew if we are to tarry here, don't we? You have to admit, he is making a lot of sense. You could smelt down the metal and sell some of the bars for an injection of coins, if need be. The two of you make ready to set out. The Mancio pane is now active. That is this one right here. This is the Mancio pane. Mancios are inns specialized for comitati. When you rest in the Mancio, the day ends, and you'll get an end day scene similar to when you camp in the wilderness. You can see your own comitatus crew pane on the left and the Mancio stock on the right. You can hire or dismiss crew as well as buy or sell beasts in the Mancio. Switch between crew and beasts with the buttons at the top. The type of beasts can also be changed here at great cost, but this is logged in Pilgrims of the Wasteland. Rumors can also be purchased here. These bits of information can unlock points of interest on your chart, tip you off on business opportunities, or give you hints on storylines. Purchased rumors can be found in your journal under the Rumors tab. Passengers can sometimes also be found in Mancios. When taken to their destination, they reward you for your efforts, but often you have to reach the place within a time limit. The passengers' consumption and potential crew combat strength is also shown here. Exchange news allows you to tap into local sources about the settlement you are in, which could be information people might pay for in other places. At the same time, you also pass on the news you've gathered from elsewhere, providing a few coins. The list of settlements you carry news from can be found in your journal under the News tab. So this news exchange is a lot like the one you have in Sunless Sea. It's pretty much a small amount but guaranteed income as you're moving around from place to place. Let's refresh some news here. Okay, we have news from Avernum. The News tab lists all the settlements you currently have news from. These can be acquired either through stories or by using the exchange news option in Mancios. News entries are worth some money each time you use the exchange news in Mancios, providing a constant side revenue to help out with your journeys. News entries degrade over time, becoming less fresh, which means less valuable in general. So you can't just hold on to them forever. You can refresh them to their maximum by using exchange news in settlements, and sometimes through stories. Okay then. We can buy rumors for changers. There's one passenger moving to Utvorar. We're not gonna currently move away from here for a while at least, so I don't think it's a good idea to take them just now. Same reasoning over here. I don't think we're going to go hunt bounties all that much. Okay, I said I wanted to get one fighter to replace the one that was lost. And with this, I can make an outrider. You know, if I really want to hire another, make even more outriders, Okay, I cannot buy mounts. Oh, beasts of burden are expensive. Well, it makes sense. They are the ones that make up most of your cargo space. Okay, I wonder what the different type of beasts are good at. Probably going to check in the main game. Is there anything else? Nope, doesn't really look like it. Okay, I need to get 3 bros to pay everyone. Let's see, the market price is here. Oh, it is very generous. 24 scrap metal. With almost 2 bros apiece. Yes, please. I think I'm gonna sell this ivory. I could probably hold on to the hides. See if there's another place that wants it. But I feel like at this point cargo space is too limited for that. Let's get rid of it. Okay, whole lot of stuff I could buy. Unfortunately, I have no idea what to do with each. I never bought any of them, so price history is useless for me at the time. Anything cool around here? Buy some guard dogs. Extra strength for outriders. Extra storage. +7 beast cargo. I imagine that's gonna be per beast. So because I currently have 2, that's gonna be 14. At least I hope that's how it works. Extra workforce. Extra defense. Protected harnesses. Do I have a slot? No, the awnings are already using it. Well, I'm sure I'm going to have all the time to get intimately familiar with all of these in the future. For now, let's concentrate on what's important here. First, I want to check something. On the tip of the mountain tongue, guarding the arid smother-bone flats, lies the imperial city of Avernum, behind its sun-scorched walls of bone and dark stone. The many forges and furnaces here toil relentlessly, belching foul smoke day and night under the watchful gaze of the Prefectus, who commands his black-hearted Avernus legion from the imposing Slag Fort. Many comitati, merchants, and grifters flock to Avernum in the hopes of finding trade, rest, or work. Often, only cruelty and dark deals await them in this corrupt city under burning skies. I want to follow up on what Javek said. Let's go visit the Slag Fort for official business. The mighty Slag Fort is the headquarters of the city guard, the Avernus Legion, and the Prefectus himself. The fort overlooks the city from atop a hill on the south side, its main tower looming threateningly above the streets close by. Made entirely of the same kind of dark stone, the Slag Fort is completely black now thanks to the layers of soot that covers its surfaces. Scrutinized briefly by the grim legionnaires at the gate, you enter the courtyard of the fort, which houses the few institutions the public can visit: the offices of the city guard, the courts, and the bounty offices. Well, I don't think I'm going to hunt bounties, and reporting Sedarius doesn't sound like a wise decision. Oh, here we go. Go to the foundries. I could smell down the arms and armor of the dead Sergorodites. We were told not to sell these on the market. I might do this. This probably gives us a bit of metal. Let's see. Avernum is a city of foundries and smelters due to its proximity to areas where ore can still be prospected or scavenged on the continent. Below the villa district, the streets between the walls and the central hill are stacked with metallurgists' workshops and smithies. More than anywhere else in the city, the air is almost black with smoke that belches forth from the many chimneys and furnaces. It is unbearably hot here, yet many people flock to here to do business with the smelters and smiths. What is your business here? I want to see what happens if I smelt some of my scraps here. Smelting metal scraps will free up precious cargo space, as it's much easier to pack and store ingots, and you can sell those just as well when you get to Devon. You only need to pay a small fee to the metallurgists each time they smelt your scraps. Let's see. First option: 3 changers and 1 scrap. Second option: 5 scrap and 1 lirg. Or smelt down 20. Oh, that's a lot. Maybe let's not do that right away. What about equipment made of metal? I suppose this is gonna be like a commissioning type of deal. You talk to several smiths about how to make your carts more resilient by reinforcing them with metal. Eventually, you come to an accord. You'll provide the metal and a fee. It will take a few days to complete the task. Okay, so this is relevant to our story, and we don't already have it. We can place an order for reinforced carts. It'll take 3 days. I don't know how helpful that is gonna be. Let's leave it for the time being. Okay, if I go to the Temple of Surgorod, let's see, the temple complex of Surgorod in Avernum is quite small compared to most imperial cities, but it's still a menacing sight to behold. Built of dark stone, clearly not from around this place. The buildings are covered with spikes and blades that reach towards the ashen skies. Furious-looking gargoyles as well as sculptures of Surgorod, in the form of a powerful warrior in spiked armor, riddle the frontispiece. Inside, darkness covers all, and only red candles provide some meager light. Novices chant in shadowed alcoves, their grumbling voices ending up to a constant angry prayer. A priest steps out of the pitch dark and stops you. His painted face and black attire gives you the shivers. What is it you ask of Surgorod, the Raging One, Lord of Vengeance and Master of Curses? A modest contribution to the Church, and you shall receive the power of retribution. Yeah, Church is gonna church. We can pay a whole lot of money for a blessing. We are not serving Surgorod. We can sacrifice a mount for a boon. Ask for a curse. Oh, we can deliver the belongings of Sedurius' dead companions. Inform the High Priest about Sedurius' dealings. No thank you. At this point, I'm already doing work I do not want. I'm not going to get. Let's just fucking smelt the things. Okay, that got us 1 iron, 1 bronze. Okay, and how does the price go? If there is any over here. Okay, so bronze is selling over here for 1.9. Oh, that's even better than scrap metal. I see. Oh, and iron is even better. Huh. I could really make a profit here. Interesting. What happens if I do? Perhaps another 5. Okay, smelting yields iron, bronze and copper from the scrap pile. Okay, so this is a bit of a gamble. You don't know how much you're gonna get. Okay, so from 5 scrap, 3 iron, 2 bronze, 2 copper. Wait, you're telling me this is actually cost effective? Oh my. Oh my. How does copper sell? A little worse than bronze, but still not bad. You know what, sell 1 iron. That's gonna be good enough to pay everyone today. I think I will see what I want to do with the rest later. Let's do a little explore. You walk the streets of the city under ashen skies, taking a few of your best with you. Avernum is large, a city of opportunities, but also of untold dangers. One can find all sorts of interesting things if one looks. Okay, looks like we can do this once a day. Let's go for a walk and see what we can find. The bazaar is the beating heart of the city. Representatives of many comitati peddle their wares here. Food, tools, animals, slaves, and other goods change hands rapidly under the colorful but soot-covered awnings. You can't decide if the constant shouting or the brutal stench is more invasive to the senses. After taking a look at a dozen stands, you end up at a stinky shop in a small street behind the bazaar. The shopkeeper, a wraith with a prosthetic leg, deals in curios and trinkets that immediately draw your attention. You single out 3 items that might be interesting and that are potentially magical. When you ask the shopkeeper what they do, she grins at you condescendingly. Wraiths are known for being extremely shrewd hagglers. You can't say much, good master, unless, she stares at your purse. What have we here? 1 lirg for a pale blue crystal. 4 changers. For a bone necklace with a yellow gemstone. Or 1 lirg for a jade figurine. Maybe try to learn about the items first. You examine the items closely. The crystal has some strange haze inside that makes it glow slightly. It fits your palm perfectly. The necklace is made of sturdy ivory, but the gemstone is no more than a cleverly cut piece of amber. The jade figurine is in the shape of a bird of prey. Even if it is mundane, it might fetch a decent price. You could also pay the wraith to reveal what she knows. Pay her a changer. Okay, looks like Javik's magic sense is working here. We can appraise with evaluate, or use history to discern something. Okay, looks like we are able to do all of these. Let's start with looking at the crystal. Magical energy emanates from the pale blue crystal. It is raw energy that someone trained could use to charge their own spells and incantations. Quite clearly a very useful trinket. Could be equipment for Javek. Let's do an appraise here. Though the crystal and the bone pendant are not worth much, the jade figurine would fetch quite a price due to its size, clearness of jade, and exquisite craftsmanship. The wraith is clearly ignorant of this because she charges too little for it. The real question is she doing that on purpose or not? Let's try to discern. According to your knowledge of lore, the crystal is nothing exceptional, even if completely carved. Competently carved. The jade figurine is finer work, but not very old or very special. However, the bone pendant is a rare charm that the Sadirar tribes value greatly. These are given to sweethearts and are blessed by shamans of the Earth tribe. If taken to Sadirar territories, it could be traded or sold for quite a lot. I see. Let's buy the necklace then and see where we go with that. The bone necklace has no magical properties. You keep it nonetheless. Okay, we can buy all of them. Sure, why not? As it turns out, the crystal was carved by Kalani crystalmancers to store arcane energy. For anyone who can siphon the energy, the crystal is an invaluable tool. The figurine depicts a bird of prey. It is masterfully carved and it's quite heavy. Alright. Good job today. Anything else? Okay, so the necklace and the figurine are items. And if my thinking is right, indeed it is, gives +2 power and gives the conduit perk. You regenerate 1 power each turn. That's pretty nice. Okay. Okay, enough stalling. Let's go see the guy. Sedarius' hideout is in a tumbled-down set of stone buildings about a block away from the Temple of Sergorod. You can reach it by going into the enclosed courtyard of several houses, entering the cellars, and ascending a well-hidden set of stairs. There's always a novice or two down in the cellar or on guard duty. The apartment Sedarius occupies is owned by the church, but few know of it, even among the anointed. It is usually used when they have someone to hide, which is fairly rare. It's not well furnished and quite dirty. The knight Sedarius usually sits at a decrepit table, or paces back and forth like a black lion. Wow, we can actually ask him to pay our gate tax. Really not liking the chances here. Let's not do that. Okay, we can ask him for some more info about the Knights of the Black Sun. The Order of the Black Sun is one of the Fusimus Imperium, as you know. We are adherents of Sergorod and Ashkul. We are the best of the best, enforcers of the Empire, hunting down criminals and traitors, guarding our great leaders, and leading military operations. Our judgments are low, and our fury is that of the Emperor. Have I asked this before? I feel like I read this one before. Okay, let's report. Let us begin, Vagrus. There's no time to waste. You can almost hear Sedarius' teeth grinding as the two of you talk about the investigation. He's clearly on edge for being powerless, while confined to this hideout of his. He begins explaining the situation after you sit down. When I arrived here on the request of the Order to root out the abolitionists plaguing the region, we assumed that they are no more than well-organized gangs laying ambushes on travelers out in the wasteland. Perhaps some idealists and bored aristocrats in the city aid escaped slaves that joined their ranks, but nothing more. A nuisance. Now I am absolutely sure that quite a lot of powerful people are involved in this whole mess, since they had the audacity and resources to set a trap for my contingent. That required coordination between the slaves and the slave lovers. Therefore, I conclude that the people my initial investigation involved had to have been in cahoots with the abolitionists. You need to find them and learn all you can about what they are hiding. Because we are dealing with powerful people, you need to apply subterfuge. There are 3 sources you have to investigate. These 3 targets were all close to the lead that guided us into the ambush up north. Okay, who's the first? Our first suspect is Assistant Magistrate Geludius Darrow. He was the one assigned to my cohort when we took up the investigation in Avernum. He coordinated with local law enforcement and served as a mouthpiece for the Prefectus and his magistrates. I have no doubt that he has to be involved in some way. Getting to him would not be easy, but I figured something related to me and my contingent's fate would pique his interest. Therefore, go to the Slack Fort and report to officials that you have information about my fate. That will almost certainly get you an audience with Darrow. Tell him that you've come across signs of battle and the remains of Sergorodites up north. When he asks if there was a Knight of the Order among them, tell him no. You ask him what purpose this would serve other than alerting him and his fellow conspirators. Well, you do not have the powers of the priest of Sergorod at your disposal, but you do have the next best thing, he says with a predatory smile and looks at Javek. Your friend stirs and seems uncomfortable, but nods. I can read his mind. This topic will surely divert his thoughts on the matter, making the scan much easier. Good enough plan? Who's the second target? Next, we have Centurion Vardis Pendius, a drunkard fallen from grace. The old soldier was key to the lead we got in our initial investigation. He had been tasked with leading a patrol in the north reaches, between Arenas Negras and the Molten Tongue. According to his report, they found tracks out in the rough terrain and followed them almost to the Voiceless Lake. There, they stumbled upon a sizable camp hidden in some ravines. They turned back because they were severely outnumbered, and Pendius knew that the camp was either outlaws or a liberated tribe. But when they were leaving, they got ambushed by these hostiles. Only 3 soldiers survived, but only Pendius made it back to Avernum. Conveniently, Cedarius frowns. Pendius is now enjoying his leave of duty. I need you to get him stinking drunk and deftly question him about these matters. I am sure that his report is completely fake, but he may let slip who made him lie in the courts. He is a regular at the Rusty Pugio. And the third? Finally, there's the Smelters Collegium. Wordies, they run half the city, especially its criminals. They were not directly involved in the plot, but whoever armed the abolitionists must have done it through them. Also, whatever the damn slave lovers take from the comitati that fall victim to them has to go through the city's black market, also run by the Collegium. They'd never talk to a Sergorodite, but they would talk to you. See what you can learn from them, but be prepared to be clever, or they'll get suspicious. Cedarius puts a copper coin on the table. These should be more than enough for bribes. Use your guile, or your sorcerer's telepathy, or whatever, I don't care. Just glean from them as much as you can from the abolitionists contacting the city. One of their headquarters is the tavern called Gallows Anvil. Now you know everything to start your investigation. 1 measly little lirg. I have a feeling that's not gonna be enough for bribes. Alright then. What I am gonna do here, actually, is take a rest first. Okay. Takes us to this screen. Just like the camping. Going to pay everyone now. 8 days of accrued upkeep. We're not using rations over here. Which also means we can't improve nutrition. Okay, we can send our workers on jobs to earn some coins. They might return with additional goods. Okay, so this can get us up to 6 Lear 8 changers. Fairly even chance. Looks like it still costs movement points. I see. Huh. When did my morale drop to 5? It was 8 when I got here. Interesting. Let's see. Relaxation options. You can sleep on the stable floor. It's free. Gives +1 vigor. We can pay a little bit to sleep in a room. That's extra. Morale, vigor, and nutrition. That should be good. Or we can pay for everything. That's +2 morale and nutrition. But no vigor. Okay, 8 vigor gives us extra combat strength and defense. Not really applicable here in Avernum. I think I'm gonna do this. Keep nutrition up, since it's almost guaranteed to fall down a bit. Once we start subsisting on rations again. Let's end the day. Ha! It said it costs movement points, but it actually cost us vigor. Interesting. Well, 6 vigor, still workable. I think we can refresh the local news. Okay, and I think that's gonna do it for this one. Next time, I'm going to go full force, investigating all the officials for Cedarius. I hope you liked this video. If you do, please leave it a like, and I'm gonna be back with another one. Until then, have a nice day.